Welcome to You Are Not Alone. This is a safe place to explore all things spiritual and beyond. I am spiritual medium Erika Gabriel. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to You Are Not Alone. I am spiritual medium Erika Gabriel, your friendly medium, your friendly person who talks to the other side. How is everybody? I hope everyone is well. I know it is so wild. This is such a wild time because every year when summer comes up, just from the collective, it's just such a shift in energy and vibration. And so we're shifting into this like great summer season. Obviously, every season we kind of turn energy, turn kind of where our intentions are, whether we stay right where we are, you know what I mean? We don't go on vacation. We don't, just like stay where we are. The energy of seasons changing is so palpable. Even when I lived in Los Angeles and Florida, the climate didn't really change a little bit, but not much. You still knew that the season was changing and that it was a different season. So we are right now, if you're listening to this in real time, we're right in the heart of summer. If you're listening to this some other time, we're in summer. So just take yourself and take yourself on a journey to summer and feeling warm. Um, but yeah, this is a great season, and I'm going to take a little vacation, which will be great, which I'm looking forward to. And I'm also in the middle of doing this how to series, which I've just been enjoying so much. And I was thinking about, going on this vacation. And every year we do a vacation during the summer, and we go to my family home in Long Island at the beach. And I am so grateful to have this beautiful place. And this incredible space with my family. Um, and this is my mom's side of the family. As you guys know, my parents had three daughters, Annika, Emily, who is Crystal Emily, who you guys know. If you don't know Crystal Emily, go back and listen to our episodes because they're great. So Annika, Emily, and then me, Erica. And then my parents got divorced, and my dad had a daughter and a son, and my mom had a daughter and a son. So I have four younger siblings, two older siblings. The two older siblings are from the same parents. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so this family trip is with my mom and my stepdad, my two older siblings, and then my two of my younger siblings on that side. So that's kind of what it looks like. And so we have those incredible people. Then my one sister has four children. So her four children come. My other sister has two children. Her two children come. And then my two children come. And my brother in law comes, and my husband's there. And then we also have cousins that join us as well. So my cousin will be coming with her two kids. Yes, we are all in one house. Obviously, then also my mom and stepdad. So usually there's about 18 of us in the house. Yes, we have two rooms with bunk beds, amongst other rooms, but it is really, really special. It's amazing. We get to be with family. We get to, have dinners together. We get to, go to the beach together. And we really get this bonding experience that we, normally wouldn't get. And, my sister's kids are getting older. One has graduated college, and they're going to create their own families and stuff. So the fact that we have this time is really sacred and really special. Everyone, for the most part, gets along. Of course, we get annoyed at each other, but for the most part, we get along. We do a rota, which is basically like a rotation of who's cooking, who's cleaning, who's setting the table, which also brings a lot of peace because it's like, well, I cooked last night. Like, there's none of that because it's a rota. My sister Emily, Crystal Emily, is the one who does the rota, so we're very grateful to her. So all this to say, it's a very blessed experience. It's a beautiful experience. It is one I am so grateful to. I never take for granted. And this, my kids they've done this every single summer of their life. So this is like their camp, their joy. They're everything, and they love to be with family. So I just wanted to put that out there that the gratitude is just massive. Period. I also can become very, very ungrounded in the situation. I can get triggered by past hurts. I can get put in a box of my role in the family or who and how I used to be. That does not have to affect me, but it can at times. We have a lot of passionate people, a lot of strong people. And I can put myself in a negative space and I start to just get really scrambled. And so, in thinking about this series that I'm doing, I really thought about going into this experience. We're leaving in 2 days. And I thought about spiritual experiences. I thought about spiritual lessons. I thought about the state of the world today, and I wanted to relate it to something personal. I know you guys like when I tell you personal stuff. Your guys' favorite episode is still like me and my husband. You know what I mean? But so personally, I was really reflecting a lot on grounding and how to stay aligned and true to who I am, even in the best of circumstances, right? You can get scrambled like in the greatest experiences ever. You know what I mean? It's not a negative on anyone else. It is a practice ground. It's a training ground to take spiritual things that we're learning and put them into practice. Who cares if you're spiritual, if you're only spiritual when you're meditating and then you go out into the world and you're, in chaos. So I am being presented with a lot of opportunity to put into spiritual practice in my personal life. And one of those essential spiritual practices is grounding. I'm sure you guys hear grounding all the time, and maybe you're masters at grounding already. I really don't know. But grounding is putting yourself back in your body, getting yourself back in the present moment, putting your 2 feet on the ground to go back to your power, your strength, and ultimately your connection to God. And when we are super ungrounded, we are disconnecting from God and from that incredible feeling. And we're disconnecting from ourselves, our truth. And we're also probably disconnecting from the moment. Um, so here are some other examples. That was a personal example of ways that we can get really ungrounded. We are in a stressful situation. There's a lot going on. We feel really stressed. This could be at work. This could be anywhere. We're stressed. We're stressed. We kind of jump outside of our body. We feel really scrambled. And I don't know, I'm just in so much stress. And oftentimes when we feel that way and we're so ungrounded, I've seen people trip and fall. This is not a scary message, by the way, or, lose things, or, we can just become out of our body and not grounded. And then our body kind of is like freaks out because we're not present. So stressful situations, we can also feel incredibly ungrounded in what's happening in the world. World stress. World stress is, things we're seeing happening in the news and we don't feel safe anymore. So we are feeling like we're just floating around and fear. And fear is the most ungrounding thing that we can find. You know what I mean? It's fear can just knock us off our block, can knock us out of our alignment, can knock us out of our power. So that happens with world stress. I've also seen a lot of trauma. When people have suffered great trauma, they no longer are present in their body temple because when they were in their body temple, scary things happened and they didn't feel safe. So they are separated from their body. That is really about something called soul retrieval. It's when your soul and your body have kind of split a little bit and you're not fully operating or present in your life. So that can be a trauma response that needs grounding. Mental chaos, right? I wrote some of these things down because I didn't want to forget anything. Mental chaos. Oh my God, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I should be doing. Terrible things are going to happen. Like we just get in this mental chaos and it's like, whoa, I hear that you're in chaos, but let's get ourselves grounded. Okay. And then the other thing that I see a lot is panic attacks and anxiousness. We're anxious. We're replaying or planning out the worst case scenario, or we're panicking again because we're so far in our past or we're so far in our future that we're not grounded in reality. We're not grounded in the moment, and we can sometimes panic. And that sometimes is what brings on panic attacks. So, a lot of these things can make us feel ungrounded. Honestly, you can get ungrounded like walking into Target and you're just like, oh my God, there's so much stuff here. What do I buy? Do I have money to buy it? All these people, someone's fighting in an aisle. That energy is weird. And we're just all of a sudden totally ungrounded. So it can be something as simple as that. The thing about grounding is when you set an intention to ground and ground in your body, and you practice that and you begin to recognize the signs of being ungrounded, right? So, setting an intention, my intention is to acknowledge or recognize when I'm getting ungrounded and just starting there. Starting to get in the habit of scanning what is happening. It's just an acknowledgement. So, if you're like, oh, like feeling all razzed up, and just be like, "Oh, okay, so this is what it feels like." Starting to recognize what ungrounded feelings feel like in your own body, because then once you acknowledge it, you can go, "Oh, I'm ungrounded." And that's when you dip into your how toolbox, and go, "Oh, I know how to manage this because I have these tools." And that's why I'm teaching this series, and that's why we're on grounding today. So, again, the idea is to look at your triggers. I also had written down, family. Family can be very triggering, like core family, like when we go into core family, like I was talking about, and we maybe are starting to go back to the past and remembering past things or past issues or past ways we were treated. And all of a sudden, we're walking around in the past and we're walking around completely hurt and completely angry and resentful, and, like, literally nothing's happening, you're having dinner. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that with my family, but I'm just saying this is very real, and I do get triggered. I do get triggered and need to step away and reground. I have become so ungrounded in that scenario. First of all, there's just a lot of people, a lot of energy. Everyone loves each other, but it can be a lot. And I remember one year, my husband saying to me, our kids were younger, so that was the other thing. We had little kids, so I was trying to manage little kids in a giant group setting, which is challenging, or it was for me anyway. And I remember him saying, like, "You don't seem like you want to be here and that you're having any fun. So, like, let's just go." Like, "Let's just go back home. Let's just go. Like, it's totally cool. Let's go." And I was like, "Oh my God. Like, am I that, like, fucked up right now?" Like, that, like, my husband's like, "Let's leave this beautiful beach." You know what I mean? And I got really pissed at him because he called me the fuck out, and I got pissed. Like, "You're so invalidating. You're not seeing the things that are stressing me out. You're just telling me I'm doing things wrong," trigger, trigger, trigger. And I just totally got pissed. And then I left and I went for a walk and I breathed and I tuned in with my guides, which is a place I feel very grounded. And they said, "He's right." And I was like, "God damn it. No. Why? Why is he right?" But he was right. And he needed to be acknowledged as well. I was being selfish, like, "Oh, acknowledge my pain. Well, what about his seeing his wife like that? You know what I mean? That's very hard to parent with someone that's just out of themselves. Um, so I was able to reground myself and set an intention of recognizing when I was getting ungrounded, so that I could remove myself and do the work that you need to do to operate healthfully in your life. No one was benefiting. My kids weren't benefiting, my family, myself, my husband, from me not taking 10 freaking minutes to go and reground myself and realign myself. We often think, oh, I don't have time for that. I can't do that. I don't have time for that. It's like, really? You don't have time not to do that because you're putting your chaos and your misalignment on everyone else. Listen, it doesn't mean that people aren't shitheads sometimes to us. You know what I mean? Not that they were in that moment, but it doesn't mean that stressful situations can't stress us out. It doesn't mean that we're not allowed to be triggered. It's not doesn't mean we're not allowed to think about our feelings in the past. It means that if it is ruining your present, you have to utilize some tools to get yourself back in the present and get grounded. If it is destroying your present moment, it's not fair to others for you to dump that on everyone else. So, number one with grounding, and I'm going to give you some tools, is setting an intention to just acknowledge when you are feeling ungrounded. That's it. Don't do anything about it. Just acknowledge. So you're on a Zoom, you're talking to your boss, and you're getting totally scrambled, weirded out. You don't know what to say. You're not in your power. Just acknowledge it or write it down. Write down talking to boss, ungrounded. You know what I mean? Or talking to a family member, ungrounded, or going into the grocery store, whatever it may be. Just acknowledge and write them down. Don't worry. Don't overdo it. Just write it down. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't be like, oh, I'm ungrounded. What's wrong with me? Don't do that. Just acknowledge these situations that really can cause some of that ungrounded feeling. Acknowledge. And after you've done that for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you guys need, a couple days, sit down, take some deep breaths, and set an intention for yourself. Before you do any action, just set an intention. And you come up with your intention. But it would be something like my intention is to honor myself in moments of ungrounded energy and to practice tools that align with me to bring myself back to center. These are my intentions. It's an intention. You don't have to be perfect. Set an intention that you'd like to create space to ground yourself so that you can live a great life, basically, right? So, we talked about in the last episode about clearing energy. Very good to get grounded before you clear energy. This is the baseline. This is baseline, getting grounded. Okay. So, there's a couple things that the guides want to give you guys for grounding, a couple of tools. Um, at the end of the day, and ultimately, as I've said so many times, and you guys know this, find what works for you. These tools are not the be all end all. These tools are not the only thing that works. These tools are not the right way and there's wrong way. And these aren't the only way. These are suggestions from the guides and from spirit that will serve the highest number of people. So, like, for an example, I don't have anything here on grounding about dancing, but say you're a dancer and you haven't danced in a long time and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling in chaos and you're feeling hectic and you're feeling unclear in life and you haven't danced in a while, your grounding may be going to a dance studio and turning on your favorite music and dancing, right? So I'm not like bringing up dancing as a grounding tool, but like if that's what works for you, utilize that and find the thing that works for you. But the thing about grounding is it's very rarely like done once a month or once a week. The idea is to develop tools that you can use throughout the day if you are someone that is constantly, or not constantly, but often finding yourself ungrounded, and you may not have the ability to go to the dance studio every day. Do you know what I mean? Now, if you're acknowledging when you're ungrounded and you do go to the dance studio once and you realize that lasts for weeks, then that's great. Again, find what works for you, find what aligns with you. Okay. Find what aligns with you. It's so important. So here we go. Number one thing to do for grounding, go outside and connect with the earth. Get away from technology. Okay. Get away from your computer, get away from your phones. Maybe you don't want to go outside and walk without a phone. I know a lot of us people need to get in touch with us. Totally. Put it on silent or not. Oh God. Oh God. I'm like, put your phone on silent. And then someone calls me. You told me to put my phone on silent and my friend needed me and they couldn't get through. So just, follow your own intuition, guys, but get away from technology and go outside. Go for a walk. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth and listen to the birds. Listen to the wind. Look at the trees and walk. Just walk. Breathe. And as you're walking, think that the earth is supporting you. You are safe in the earth. You are safe in your body. Align with the present. It's very present when you look at trees. You see it. It's strong. It's beautiful. It's growing. Look at the trees. Listen to the birds. Present moment here in the earth element, away from chaos, away from technology. Go outside. Now, the other thing is if you're in between meetings or whatever and you need a quick earth grounding, go outside, take off your shoes and put your feet in some grass. Breathe. And I want you to, when you do this, imagine chaotic energy, any negative energy, any electronic energy, because that can fritz us. I want to tell you about that as well. And ask that the earth absorbs that energy through your feet and washes it away within the earth's atmosphere, that it's safely transmuted into grounded energy. So ask the earth to absorb anything that you need to shed. You can do that for 2 minutes, guys. Breathe, feel the dirt. You are safe. You're safe in earth. You're safe in the earth element. So really quick, something else that can be very scrambling for us and cause us to feel really ungrounded is over technology. I mean, we've got the 5G, we've got TVs, we got cell phones, we've got computers, there is electrical energy running through everything, everywhere, all the time. I mean, when I was in a blackout for 3 days. The sound in my ear was so different. It was almost like a weird silence, a silence I really don't hear. And that's because there was no electricity running through the wires, the air, the 5G, the everything. There are conspiracy theorists that talk all about this. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I'm not. I'm sorry. If you want a conspiracy theorist podcast, I can give you some, but I can refer you to some. But so listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Just let this be light. Technology is overwhelming at times, and some people are more sensitive to it than others. So for you guys, this earthing grounding is going to be very, very helpful. The other thing that my guides have told people is to turn off their Wi-Fi at night. Just turn it off at night. And that sometimes for people that are very sensitive can help them sleep. Okay, good. So that's a great tool. So the other thing that you can do for grounding is work with the body. So you're going to sit in a chair with your feet firmly planted on the ground. You're going to take some nice deep breaths. When you take deep breaths, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, so right? And sit tall. Let your spine elongate. Drop your shoulders, relax your face, and sit up. Don't sit on a couch where you're slumped over. Sit tall. And take a moment to breathe. Set your intention of grounding back in the body. And you're going to work with the body to feel more grounded. So you take your pinky toe on your feet and you push your pinky toes into the ground. And then you take your next toe, the little toes, right? The second toes on each side and push those into the ground. And then you take the middle toes and push those into the ground. And then you take the big toe and push those to the ground. And then you squeeze your calves, all while breathing. Feel the body. Then squeeze your thighs. Feel the body, squeeze the body, feel your muscles grounding down into the earth. And then flex your stomach muscles. Feel that energy right in your center, right? And then you're going to do sit up tall again, your chest. And then you're going to squeeze your arms and your hands. Feel the muscles, feel the energy through the body, right? You can smile, you can move your face around. And when you feel like you've kind of felt and felt into all parts of your body, just breathe. And as you breathe, really feeling the air fill your lungs and then the air leaving your lungs and just reground in the body temple. That's a very physical one. Okay, so you can do that. You can also use visualizations. So visualizations look similar to the body one. But what I like to do the same thing. You sit, you breathe, you put your feet on the ground. I think of a beautiful purple orb. And I think that this orb I see it kind of drop down from spirit. I ask that it is a healing and grounding orb. And I see it bounce from my toe to toe to toe, and then I see it bounce on my calves, and then above my knees, and then I see it bounce on my stomach, and I kind of see this beautiful bubble or orb, I should say, bounce on the body. And when I feel it bounce on that part of my body, I just feel a relaxation. I feel a solid energy, and that's a great visualization as well. So the other way you can ground too is with a visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine you're holding a flower in your right hand and a candle in your left hand. And they're saying to smell the flower and then blow out the candle. Good. Come back to your body in present moment. Smell the flower, blow out the candle, drop back down into your body. Okay. So then the other thing I like to use are mantras. And so the idea is going away from this podcast and writing down 3 mantras that you like, that assist you in feeling present and grounded. So I can give you some examples. So the mantra would be, all is well and I am safe in the present moment. Mantra number 1. Number 2, I exist in the present, releasing the past or future worries. I exist in the present. Okay. And then the third one, again, these are just total examples. You guys, please create whatever you want. The third one you can say, um, everything is working out for me and I am safe and okay just where I am. Breathe. Another one, right where I am, God is. Right where I am, God is in the present moment. So these are mantras. So what you can do is write down 3 mantras for yourself, and you say each of those mantras 3 times. Breathe, say your mantras. Ground down, say your mantras over and over again. So the other thing that has been suggested is sitting down and just focusing on 3 things you can hear, 3 things you can smell, and 3 things you can see, which will also help you ground and get in the present moment of your life. These are tools, these are ideas, but it's essential to our health to pull ourselves back to the present moment and back in our bodies. And it is there that then you can begin to tune into your intuition. Okay. How to tune into your intuition coming soon to a theater near you. But once you are grounded, People are saying, how do I get signs? How do I talk to my guides? How do I tune into my intuition? How do I know what's fact and what's fear? How do I know what's my inner voice and what's fear? Right? Chaos, 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 frustration, anxiety, chaos. It is so hard to tune into the intuition in chaos. So step one, cool the chaos, ground down into your body. And from there, you're going to be able to tune into your intuition, not from chaos. Use these tools, work these tools. You guys are amazing. I loved doing this episode. I hope this served you. Please let me know if this episode served you, if there was something here that gave you a nugget that served you in your life. I'm having a great time doing these how-tos. Stay tuned for more. If you take nothing else away from this podcast, please know you are not alone. You are surrounded by angels, guides, ancestors, your higher self, your spirit animals, master teachers. You are so not alone. There is work, support, love, adoration, so many things being done on your behalf in spirit. Use spirit. Remember, the universe is always a yes. So if your mind is going negative, the universe goes, okay, yes. If your mind is going positive, the universe goes, okay, yes. If you go, I want to use my support team, they go, okay, yes. It's a beautiful thing. You are not alone. I am thinking of you all. God bless you. Be well. Take care of yourself. Be kind to other people. I'm thinking of you all. I love you, and we'll talk soon. Take care.